Hi, my name is Kankan Vignesh. Today, today I am going to present the final project of ADTF 5240. In this, we have majorly five steps, actually five parts. And first part describes the strategy to deploy big data technology in a firm. As we know, well, enter, enterprise-wide big data strategy will give business a major competitive advantage in the marketplace. A big data approach, on the other hand, can be considered independent from the organization overall strategy and must be fully integrated. When we talk about big data strategy, we are just talking about the business strategy that involves a general big data. The big data strategy establishes a basis for the organization to, to use data related or data independent capacities for defining or laying out holistic view across the organization. Some of here I am going to discuss some of the benefits are made actionable by the enterprise of big data to become a data driven enterprise. The big data strategy includes several guidelines for realization the data driven vision guides the company to set clear objective priorities and serves as a foundation for data-driven planning throughout the organization. Aside from the business of gaining a competitive edge, business needs a big data strategy because it cuts across organization lines. Without a big data strategy, business will be forced to deal with a plenty of data-related operations and many of which will be intimidated by various business units. As we are going to say that different departments are likely to start their own analysis, business intelligence, or data management system without considering the overall long-term strategic goals. Because there are mainly four things we have to describe here. And one of the main things is organization should be able to implement a well-defined business data strategy. This strategy mainly involves five-step methodology outline. First one is define your business goal. Uh, uh, to fully understand the corporate business goals of every company, it is important to first understand big data, what determines the success of the company, and what key performance indicator is a common source of revenue and benefit, so as we call as KPI. Begin from by gaining a better understanding and how a company succeeds before looking at how big data technology and solutions can help the company perform better in the future. This all can be done by well specifying the business objectives. Since we know that the primary aim of big data is collect value by exploitation of data, the approach should be aligned with various corporate business goals and solve key business issues. This can be done in many ways. And one way here I want to describe here is corporate strategic planning phase, which is a phase which is already used in many of the countries or companies. The importance of this phase is involving key business stakeholders in the identification of business priorities and was stated. Here, three people plays an important role. One is executive sponsors, and one is right team or right people on team. I mean, right talent on team, and third one potential industry. Executive sponsor is nothing but it's difficult to evaluate the value of identifying and aligning with executive sponsors. Their assistance is crucial because they bring up and down of developing and executing a data strategy. Right talent. When we have a right talent of people in the team, all our objective will be fulfilled. People with right talent skills must be involved. Both internal and external consultants should be considered. Potential stakeholders are nothing but who are either purposely or mistakenly opposed to change, and they are what drives them will be later in the process. And second thing here I want to describe is execute a current state assessment. Here the main goal is to evaluate the enterprise existing business strategy, data source, and data priorities, technology assets, and capabilities and policies. The aim of this activity is to aid a difference analysis between current state and designed future state. If the aim of the data strategy is 360 degrees to satisfy customers and potential customers, for example, The current state evaluation will include any business process, data asset, taxi capacity, etc. Because the employees involved in customer acquisition as a part of the state are also a part of state evaluation. It is also significant and cultivate some data much at that time. I think this is the most important thing in all the as for my opinion, is identifying and prioritizing use cases. By creating use cases that fit with the business goals from phase one, we incorporate predictive analysis and prescriptive analysis and even cognitive analysis will help the company accelerate, optimize, and continuously learn. As seen in the diagram below, we can say that use case is a simple and practical way to describe how big data technology and applications can help companies achieve their objectives. Following the creation of use cases, the next step is to prioritize them all based on business effort, budget, resource equipment, enterprise resource requirements. Enterprise will use this exercise to determine which big data projects have the most business value. The prioritize matrix is one of the most powerful ways to prioritize use cases. As we know, prioritizing is one of the powerful ways to prioritize use cases. It also helps business and stakeholders determine the right use case to launch the big data industry by facilitating dialogue and debate. And fourth one is formulate a big data roadmap. In this, it is the most time consuming process and it will undoubtedly consume the bulk of time spent developing a business strategy. This roadmap can be created by current capacity state assessment. The big data roadmap lays out which products will be completed first, as well as which technologies will be expanded over the next 3 years. The roadmap also concentrates mainly on finding gaps in data infrastructure, technology, tools, process, and etc. People with the desired future state in mind, a little static algorithm will be presented by current state evaluation use cases. And the next state will be prioritize these options based on scope of them and expenditure and potential benefits. And we also know that sponsors and partners can play important role in predicting these projects. And the last one which I want to describe here is change management. Change management is nothing about the theoretical part of the big data formulation. It can have a significant effect on success and failure of the big data strategy. There will be many changes such as organization change, cultural change, technical change, and improvements in business processes. They all are included in change management. Data governance has been become an important part of the change management. And any change management initiative should include approximate benefits and organic. Below the diagram describes the priorities of different methods, starting from different business objectives and ending to the change management. As far as my opinion, I think these are the important steps for deploying big data technology in the firm above diagram and shows the order of priority. And here other things which I want to mention here is and I also have separate specific assumption or questions, we can call it as questions, where I want to ask is what products or solutions are you using today to deliver analysis to, to your stakeholders? And second one is what do you use this product for today? And what analysis reports or data would you like to have that you don't have today? And how would you improve your system or process if you could? Or how you do prioritize the order of the value? These are the basic questions such as we can call it as organization need. And next I'm going to discuss about the organization priorities. In organized priorities, I want to ask to give an assumption of identifying the key business use cases and align teams on priorities and secure that really essential business by in projects. Uh, Here comes the organization big data priorities will be over by assumption these three questions such as identifying key business use cases and align teams on priorities and secure the really essential business buy on product. Here another thing I want to state is analyzing big data requirements. As we prioritize our business needs and use cases, we identify them, we examine the use cases currently and match them to solutions. And we examine what are the existing capabilities and what are requirements for new solutions. Here, some of the things I would ask is where infrastructure is essential, or what have you put in place today? Is there anything you can reuse? What do you think you will do better with, and what do you require? And there are separate alternatives such as uh, some of them which I want to discuss here, or which long-term solutions are available for purchase. Uh, Other alternatives here is we have to make our stakeholder excited by majorly concerning the organization, massing knowledge capacity, socializing the organization, improving the organization, or organizing. First, we discuss about socializing the organization. Um, So I tell individual this socializing not social stains to social media. However, most business understand that the socialization of the setup has to happen. Individuals need to get excited and appearance forward to new tools and ways to which they believe their stakeholders. Uh, and and many you would like to buy in forms as many folks as potential. This says that creating them want their reason of the method, therefore a project. We have to pinpoint our ideas before you get too much down the road. And and you'll get lot of feedback and solutions from the customers and so that you can brainstorm. So you're not off guard or anything varies throughout the show. This because of socialism, we can get the feedback from the customers and we are never off the track when we're going to query. Second one is improving your massive knowledge. For improving the massive knowledge in analytic project, three more important things plays a crucial role. First is attend coaching, and second one spend time delivering constructive feedback on the expertise, and third one share with others the need the use of tools. As we want stakeholders to feel invested within the solution, the area unit being extended to them by incorporating the insight. These individuals are going to willing to invest their time so that this allows this the platform to get pleasure from tier of grassroots growth that can be enforced or installed constantly when we raise whether or not optimizing or involving an given PRM. The massive knowledge and analytics surrounding it consistently dynamic growing larger. You'll need to make sure your alternative can still be a honest alternative down the road. Here and the last important thing. Once the method is organized, you would like to conform, like your stakeholders and results apply to feel on high of things and prepared to charge is there to support your call so that we can create certain transparency between everybody and can drive regulatory speedy implementation head option. This area unit is the most effective practices to settle correct knowledge analytics platform and guarantee its success. This method can specify a US gain a stronger understanding of business knowledge and evaluation degree as we wanted for the analytics resolution. All these key informed steps are not only big data or establish any other new firm in the required country. By installing the big data technology in a company, we can gain more insights from the data and it will be less consuming when compared to others. I think these are the key points for strategy to deploy big data technology in a firm. Second step goes to pre-processing of the data set. Whenever we are going to work on a given data set, we have to pre-process the data set or clean the data set. For pre-processing the data set, first we have to download the data set into the Excel, where we will use certain commands in Excel, so the data will be clean. I am using find and replace command by pressing Alt Control F. We can directly go to the find and replace. Here I am find what I am using find what is comma and replacing with icon. So you can reprocess the data set as we convert this, it directly convert into CSV file, and we save this file as sales underscore record underscore 2 underscore 1 or CSV. Next step in pre-processing is with the help of the OpenRefine tool. As we did in previous assignments, in assignment 5, with the help of this tool, we check whether there is any errors in the state as number of as the state name repeats in the data set. As I think as observed manually, there are no errors in the state. Next, we look at the zip codes. I think there are no errors in zip codes also as I looked it manually. I only error which I found in zip code is in the Holika city. It is shown as 1040, but it is 0140. I identified this error by using this link, which I given below and which I found in Google. Next part is to upload this file into the storage bucket. As we need not to create a new storage bucket, we already created a bucket in the initial assignments of this subjects, which I created a bucket is harvesting bucket. First, this data set is copied and moved from the bucket to the master node to the cluster. Here is the command for moving a bucket to master of the cluster, that is harvesting underscore bucket slash data slash date sales slash underscore records underscore clean dot csv. Here is a screenshot. First we are creating subfolders such as data. Second, we are inserting our user data and weblog data, and we are creating the directory sales.record.csv. I mean, this is subdirectory. Then in second subdirectory, we are using user data and weblog.csv so that our bucket has been created. Here you can see directly in the screenshot. After that, we have to new open NUSHS cell. We need to copy the sales record and this data set from the local storage or master node to the data folder in HDFS. And we should also create a new subfolder and name sales underscore record under the data folder in HDFS, as I said previously. As for creating a subfolder, here is a command. Here it is mkdir make directory slash user slash business8089 is our username and slash data we have created for directory and sales code is a subfolder. This is the command for creating the subfolder. After that, we should copy all the files which is created in subfolders from the master node to the created HDFS folder name sales underscore record. Okay. After copying, we have to verify the copy results. By the sales underscore record.clc file. After verifying, we have to directly move to the Hive. We can easily move to the Hive by using Hive command line interfering feed line and connected to the Hive server. Next thing is the creation of the table. For creating an external table, we have to use certain properties such as row ID, which is an integer data type, and order ID, which is string data type, order date is a string data type, ship mode is a string data type, customer ID is a string data type, customer name is string data type, and segment is a string, and many more. After that, they are separated by row format, delimited file, and separated by commas. And this location is stored in sales as a subdirectory. As you can see here, how we created a table, and we are creating two queries. One is top by state where company has more customers is. For this, we are selecting the state count, which is count as customer ID as customer count from sales record from the given table, sales record underscore table, and they're grouped by state, and they are ordered by customer underscore count, and they are limited to 5 so that we can get a desired output where the highest customer count is in California, which is 2001, and least in Washington is 506. Second query here I want to is the top 10 zip code areas where the company gets the best sales amount. Here we'll select the postal code, select from postal code such as T and sums. The sum is nothing but sales. From sales record table as we've seen before, and they're grouped by postal code and city here. And they are ordered by total sales and they're limited to 10. Here you can see the postal code, city, and total sales, where New York City has the highest sales. Next, we are doing this queries in Spark. For starting Spark, we are using a command called spark.sql. We'll move on directly to Spark. It's easy process. Second, next we are creating a new table in Spark, same as we did in Hive. As we said, discussed about these are the properties for creating Hive. Same as for Hive. Here we are creating in number 3. And we are running the same queries on Spark. And we are getting a same output. As we can see below, but they are not in a table format, but the output is same. And but we are using sales underscore record table because we created by, and they are grouped by state and order by same as we discussed above. For second query also we are using the same command. Only difference here we are using a new table. We can use the Hive table also, but here we are using a new table. The only difference which I have noticed here is the speed. We are going to discuss this further in the submit requirement 5. Here we are describing the speed and performance of Hive, MapReduce, and Spark. As we seen here, Hive executed 2 queries or processing speed of 2 queries observed as 23.435 and 6.61 respectively, where the same task is done by Spark at 4.581 and 4.601 respectively. Both are important for pre-processing large-scale data sets. Hive and Spark are very common and effective products. In other words, they analyze large amount of data. Spark is 100 times faster in memory and 10 times faster on disk, according to research on a 10th of the surveys. It was also used to sort 100 TB of data, 3 times faster than Hadoop MapReduce. Spark has been found to be especially fast in machine learning applications like this and K-means. Basically, we know Spark is faster than Hive. In this case, also Spark is faster than Hive. Memory processing for computing was used by Spark. Hive has to perform two tasks for execution. First, it has to perform fetch the data from HDFS, then run MapReduce jobs. So the execution in Hive takes more time compared to Spark. There are a lot of differences in both Hive and Spark. But in case of pairing, Hive will be having more advantage than Spark because Hive and Spark are, as we know, they are most popular to allow big data. Spark is a better option for running big data analytics when compared between them. Hive is a better option for performing data analytics on large volumes of data using SQL and is a faster alternative to MapReduce. As we can say, both Hive and Spark for data pre-processing as well as storing both have their positive sides. Hive will be way better for data storing and still with the use of Spark you can easily perform transformation and increase efficiency. Here you can see the key differences between the Spark, and this is my all about my final project. And thank you all if you and spending time and listening to all my description about the final project. And here I'm going to end my recording and thank you and have a nice day.